Hi, I'm Katie Seaver of katieseaver.com, and I'm here to talk about authentic and luscious eating. So today I want to talk about a question I received recently. So I was talking to someone I love who reads the blog, and they said to me, Katie, I really like what you're writing, but you know what I really struggle with? I really struggle with the times when I feel like I'm in conflict. Like one part of me is like, eat a healthy dinner, and the other part of me just wants to eat junk. Or even in other moments not having anything to do with food. Like one part of me wants to stay up really late reading a book, and the other part of me wants me to go to bed so I'll have a good day tomorrow and I won't be exhausted. And I just thought, wow, that's so true. And that's something that I deal with all the time, this feeling of being in conflict. Where one side of me wants to eat kale and chicken for dinner and the other part of me wants to eat nothing but coffee cake. So in this video today, I want to offer 2 pieces of advice for how to deal with those moments when we feel like, oh, why am I in conflict with myself? Cool. So the first piece of advice I want to offer is to allow both sides of yourself to really sit at the table and tell their story. And I know it sounds really cheesy when I say that, but I hope you'll bear with me for just a second. Because what I really mean is, if you're sitting there and you're like kale chicken on one side and coffee cake on the other, that there's usually things going on that you're not always aware of. So my advice for you in those moments is to find a place where you can be really quiet. Find a place where you can connect to your body and really listen to those stories one by one. So, starting out with the side of you that only wants to eat coffee cake, say, hey, what's going on? Really locate if there's a physical part of you that wants that. Is it in your heart? Is it in your belly? Where do you feel that? Is there like a color associated with that or a sensation? I know that sounds hippy-dippy, but it's actually really powerful in terms of connecting with yourself. So you sort of do that, and then you ask yourself, hey, so why is it that you want coffee cake and nothing but coffee cake for dinner tonight? And sometimes the answer is, I want coffee cake and only coffee cake for dinner tonight because it just sounds like the most delicious thing in the world. Great. But usually if you can really dig deep and ask yourself what you want, there's other subtle undercurrents. Like for me, it'll usually be something like, I feel exhausted and I just need to indulge. Or, you've been so strict with me, Katie, you just keep making me do things and all I want to do is cut loose and be bad or be indulgent, And it's really powerful to just know what you're working with. And to do that to the other side, to say to the kale and greens part of you and chicken part of you, hey, what's going on? What's going on here? And sometimes the answer is I just want to feel really good in my body. But sometimes the answer is also well, I want you to eat kale and chicken because I want to lose weight. Or I want you to lose weight because you have a high school reunion coming up and I want you to feel really pretty and sexy and slim, or you have a wedding or you have a family event and I want you to feel sexy and slim. And the value of that is that if you can know what the underlying beliefs are, you can really question whether they're true or not. Because if the underlying belief that's driving me to eat is, you haven't been allowing me to be indulgent enough lately, Katie, then you can say, oh, is that true? And it might be. Maybe you do need to cut loose and reorganize your life so that you feel more indulgent for that part of you. But if the underlying belief is, I need to lose 20 pounds so I can show up to my friend's wedding and look like a hottie, you can say, is that really true? Will losing 20 pounds accomplish that and make everyone love me and respect me? But until you're really engaging at that more subtle level of what the conflict is really about, you can't know. So that's the first step, really deeply allowing each side to tell their story. And it really does require being quiet for a moment, really asking, sometimes even journaling, though that's annoying if you're just trying to figure out what to eat for dinner. The second point is figuring out a compromise that works for today and tomorrow and the next day. It's not about like deciding kale or coffee cake. It's about how are you going to organize your life so that you feel integrated and whole rather than in conflict. So it may be that you need to eat a little bit of chicken and kale and a little bit of coffee cake tonight, but also that you need to come to a compromise in your life that has to do with those underlying feelings. So it might be that you need to reorganize your life so that you can feel more indulgent. And it also may mean that you need to do a little bit of work around really examining what it means to show up to your friend's wedding and whether you do need to lose 20 pounds and whether that's true in a way you want to live in your life. So the first part is about really deeply exploring what the underlying conflict is about. And the second piece is around coming to a compromise, both for this meal and for this week and this month and this life, about how you're going to honor those truthful feelings that were causing that compromise. So I hope that's helpful. That's my offering for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this, I have more videos and other content at katieseaver.com. I hope you'll check it out. And until next time.